Hi again, everyone. This is Mary at the Reiki Place, and this is the fourth in my deep dive series, the Heart Chakra, Anahata. Too often we move from our brain, we move from our logical mind, we move from our head, and we ignore the pleadings of the heart. So I hope after you watch this video, you will have been inspired or encouraged in some way to follow your heart, to listen to your heart. And that is the path to true happiness. It's also the path to your higher self's soul evolution, what your higher self is trying to tell you and how it's trying to guide you.
All right, Anahata, the heart chakra. Many people know that the heart is actually like the brain in as much as it has neurons. Neurons are sensing cells that send and receive messages that communicate amongst each other. And neurons are what give your brain power. So your heart also has brain power, or heart power, if you like to think of it that way. Here is a quote by Jessica Morales from Psychology Today. The heart has 40,000 neurons and the ability to process, learn, and remember. It also has its own emotions. We know from anecdotal experience that those who receive a heart transplant often inherit the characteristics of the person whose heart they received. And I have a slide on that in just a minute. Getting back to this slide, thanks to the field of neurocardiology, we are learning more about the intuitive nature of the heart and how we can apply this information to the relationship we have with ourselves and others. The heart knows what the heart wants, right? We are sometimes ruled by our head and ignore the cryings, the pleadings of the heart. And that's to our detriment, very oftentimes. Here we are. Numerous anecdotal stories. Here is just one, but if you search the internet or read books on this topic, you'll find numerous examples. This particular one comes from an Australian website, Science Communication, and he talks about a 63-year-old man who was not very artistic, and he received a heart and became an artist. His artistic ability grew dramatically, and then he found out that his heart donor was an artist. So there are lots of stories like that you can search out. The heart has part of your personality, part of your soul, if you like, is in your heart. Your mind and your soul are those parts of you that keep going after you pass away and leave this physical body. You still have your spirit energy, and your spirit energy carries with it elements of your personality. That's a complicated subject, but there are your core essence, the core essence of who you are, your authentic self, endures beyond the physical body. And when you come into a physical body, you inherit characteristics of that physical body and the characteristics of the family that physical body belongs to, and so on and so forth. But then there is a part of you that remains, that endures after the physical body is gone. And here is a picture from the HeartMath Institute showing the field of the heart. So the field of the heart is the biggest field. All of the organs of your body, and in fact all the cells of your body, generate energy. This is what our aura is, our biofield. But the heart generates more energy than any other organ, and 60 times more than the brain. Again, you can look this up on the HeartMath Institute. There's lots and lots of material there. And they talk about coherence. So coherence is when your heart and brain agree. So for example, if you really want a new car, your heart wants a new car and your brain keeps telling you you can't afford one, then there's not coherence there. If your brain tells you we'll find a way, and comes into coherence with what the heart wants, then you are more likely to somehow get that new car. And it's the same with love. When your heart wants somebody, but your logical brain is saying, oh, it'll never work out with this person. He's not like you at all, or she's not the right one for me, or whatever. Then there is not coherence there. So your heart and your brain has to be in coherence in order to manifest. Our hearts respond to connection with other people. This is, again, proven science. I haven't put quotes here, quotations and websites, but you can go and look these up on the internet and just put in some search terms and you'll find numerous examples of this. But a person's brain will come into coherence with their heart when they hold hands with someone. This is on the Heart Math Institute. So when you're holding hands, presumably with somebody, that you like, your heart and your brain come into coherence and synchronize their rhythm. A mother's heartbeat will synchronize with the heartbeat of her unborn baby under certain circumstances. Now, babies have a rapid heartbeat, and mothers don't need to have that rapid heartbeat. But under certain circumstances, they will be synchronized. And after the baby is born, a baby's heartbeat will synchronize with the mother's heartbeat when the mother looks at it, when they make face contact, eye contact, and smiling and laughing at each other and playing together. Then the baby's heartbeat will synchronize with the mother's heartbeat. So the heart is a very sensitive organ. Even when strangers come into a room together, if they spend a lot of time in that room together, and if there is no disharmony among them, like if they're getting along, or they've also done studies where people are sleeping in the same room together, their heartbeats will synchronize. So this is beautiful that your heart energy recognizes the energy of those around you, who you are friends with or who you love, and comes into synchronicity with their heartbeat. So all our hearts beat as one. Unity consciousness, right? The Christ consciousness. All our hearts beat as one. Well, these are the general concepts of the heart chakra. Love of self, love of humanity, love of family. The root, you see, is more about, it says tribal love. That's kind of your tribe, finding your tribe, feeling comfortable with having the right people around you. That's root chakra energy. Being with if you're comfortable with your family, being with family. If you're not comfortable with your family, being with friends who are of like mind. That's more of root chakra. And sacral, of course, is the sexual chakra. So that's more of sexual love or intimacy, that kind of love. Whereas the heart is more of unconditional love for humanity, and also love of self, acceptance. Accepting yourself just the way you are. Because you came into this life absolutely in the perfect body with the perfect mind for your life purpose. We are here on purpose with a purpose. We are not here randomly. Our bodies were not assigned to us randomly. We were not born into certain families randomly. Everything was predetermined, pre-selected to give you the life experience that you needed for your soul evolution, for the next step on your soul's journey towards growing spiritually. And so you have the perfect environment for that. No matter what your family is to you, it's the perfect family for you to learn your lesson from. And no matter what your body looks like, it's the perfect body for you to learn your lesson in, the perfect vessel for your soul to walk around in, or if you're not able to walk, to sit around in, or whatever. In order for you to have the experiences that you need for the soul growth that you plan for yourself in this lifetime. And so you see, you are perfect. You're perfect for your life mission. You are perfect just the way you are. And everything around you is supporting that journey, your hero's journey, your life journey. So being worthy is not about what you've accomplished, what you've done. It's not about collecting money or building bridges or becoming famous. It's just about being here. If you are here, then you are worthy. You came into this life with a purpose. And just being here, by being here and living your life, you're fulfilling your purpose. And that makes you worthy, you see. And we have the perfect body and the perfect life circumstance for that. There's no point looking around at other people and saying, how come they got this and I only got this, or they got that great body and I got this crappy body, or whatever it is, they got that beautiful hair and I got this thin hair, or whatever it is that you got, what you got is perfect for your life mission. And it was carefully selected for you at the spiritual level. Before you came here, you were able to co-conspire with your guides and your family members and those who were going to incarnate with you, your family members, your co-workers, your friends, relatives, all of that. It was all planned, you see. And so you are perfect just the way you are. You got the body that you needed, you got the temperament that you needed, you got the life experience challenges that you needed. So the question then becomes to ask yourself, what was I trying to learn? What was this experience, especially if it's been a negative one? What was this experience here to teach me? What am I learning through this? And the answer is almost always related in some way to self-worth, that you are worthy, that you are just as worthy as everybody else. Well, I talked earlier about the heart being the pivot point between the lower physical chakras, the solar plexus, the sacral, and the root, and the higher spiritual chakras, the throat, the third eye, and the crown. And that's why the heart is so important in the whole body system. Not just because it beats and keeps you alive, but it's also a pivotal energy in the body's energy system. It's the bridge between the spiritual self and the physical self. This is why in Sanskrit they chose the word Anahata, which means that there was not the two energies, the physical energy and the spiritual energy, did not collide and strike each other, but they seamlessly integrated with each other and became integrated with each other. So there's no conflict between the spirit and the body. Unfortunately, part of our culture is to indoctrinate us into working from your head, coming from your head, doing what's logical. Oh, that's not logical. Well, the heart is not logical, you see, because it's about emotion. It's about feeling. It's about doing what's right for you, not what's right for society or what's right for everybody else. So we often get into a conflict between what our brain wants and what our heart wants. And this is the whole concept of the Heart Math Institute, is to teach us how to bring the brain and the heart into coherence. And there are all kinds of little instruments and devices you can buy, and breathing exercises you can do. But the real way to do it is, or the simplest way to do it, is simply to understand what is in your heart and allow yourself to pursue that instead of always making decisions from the brain. So you do have to sometimes consider external circumstances, and sometimes you have to consider external people, especially if you have a spouse or a partner, or if you have children who are minors. Then you have to consider other people's feelings when you make decisions. But to a large degree, the right way to make a decision is to make it from the heart. What is in your heart? What does your heart really want? Because that's taking you on the path of your higher life purpose. What's in the brain is just all the indoctrination, the political correctness, what you've been told to believe growing up by the authorities, by your parents, by your teachers, by your religious leaders. All of that is what's in the head. So I'm not saying completely ignore what's in the head, but definitely try and find that balance. So you see, it's all about finding the balance. The balance between your heart and mind, but also the balance between love for self and love for others. We are not obliged to do for anybody else other than small children, dependents, people who cannot do for themselves. Of course, that's a responsibility we've taken on at the soul level. But if they're just ordinary people like us, like brothers and sisters and mums and dads, then we're not obligated to do anything for them. It's our choice. And you can make that choice lovingly and with compassion, but you can also make that choice without shortchanging yourself. Here are the Heart Chakra archetypes. The actor. The actor is the one who is not capable of real intimacy. This is the person with the heart wall. Never really being able to get really intimate. Maybe it's a playboy or a playgirl somebody who bounces from partner to partner, never really being able to settle down with one partner or being faithful to one partner. These are the people that cannot make themselves vulnerable. And so they miss out on that. They miss out on intimacy, the intimacy of love. And then the positive archetype is the lover. I'm completely open to the wonder and the joys of true love. I feel I love freely and unconditionally. I accept people for who they are and where they are in their lives and do not seek to change them. So that's important too, because at the moment that we get into a relationship, we all try to change the person who we're with into somebody that we want them to be, somebody that responds to our needs in a deeper way, instead of accepting them for who they are, which we do when we first meet them. We accept them for who they are, and then as we get deeper and deeper into the relationship, we start to become dissatisfied. But that dissatisfaction, you see, is a reflection of dissatisfaction inside yourself. So meeting your own needs becomes especially important when you are in an intimate relationship with someone, because then you are being with them because you want to be and not because you need them, not because you have a dependency on them, not because you're relying on them to be there for you, to listen to your whines and your moans and your groans and even your happiness and your joy. When you can fulfill that within yourself, then your relationship improves. A relationship is only a reflection of where you are in your internal development. Here are some of the crystals, essential oils, and the musical notes. So the crystals, the emerald is the classic heart stone. The emerald is the classic healer's stone. Watermelon tourmaline, that's the one that has the pink, green, white slice. Looks like a slice of watermelon. Sometimes it has a little black in it. So tourmaline comes in black, but it also comes in pink and green. Malachite. Malachite is rather a heavy energy because malachite has copper in it, and copper amplifies the signal of anything that it touches. So malachite I would use rather sparingly, but it's good for those really heavy days or those really heavy traumas that you need to release. I don't recommend wearing, like if you have a malachite bracelet or something, I don't recommend wearing it every day. Just wearing it on your really worst days, because it can have the reverse effect. And then green fluorite, or any fluorite, is actually good for the heart chakra, but green fluorite, because it's green, is especially good. Fluorite has a much lighter energy than the emerald. The emerald is deeply healing, but the fluorite is much lighter. So if somebody needs to lighten their heart energy, fluorite is a good one. And then rose quartz, that helps you attract love, and jade, as well as jade is quite a soft energy. Jade is a soft stone, and so the energy of jade is very soothing and soft. And then the animals there, the antelope. The reason why the antelope resonates to the heart chakra is because antelopes leap in joy. They leap. If you watch an antelope roaming across the field, it leaps in bounds. It's got a light heart. And the lion, of course, for the courage. Richard the Lionheart, the courage in the heart, the courage that it takes to admit that you are worthy, the courage that it takes to stand in your own truth and stand in your own power. And then the essential oils here, most of these are from the book. It's in the references on the last slide, by Anne Werwood, Aromatherapy for the Soul. She sort of feels the energy of the oils intuitively, and in some instances has measured the frequencies of them using electronic equipment. And then Liz Simpson, the Chakra Healing book, that's also in the references in the slide at the end if you're interested in looking that one up. But you can see the bergamot is citrus. It's a lime-like fruit, and so it's green. And the rose, of course, because the rose pink also resonates to the heart chakra. And then all of these ylang ylang, that's a very green scent. Lavender is very soothing and calming. Jasmine is one of those pick-me-up kind of fragrances that it's kind of a heavy fragrance, but it also is very uplifting. And then mandarin and tangerine. So the citrus, because the citrus is very refreshing. It lifts you up. It lifts the spirit up. The musical note, the scale F. If you know anything about music, the scale of F has a B flat. If you play an F and a B flat together, you'll hear the resonance of that because it has a very wistful, a very melancholic note to it, tone to it. And then the solfeggio, that's the more ancient scale that has the six notes, ut, re, mi, fa, sol, la. So the solfeggio, the heart is the fa, ut, re, mi is the first three, and then fa. So that will be the note for the solfeggio for the heart chakra. And then the color, of course, is green. Foods that feed the heart chakra are the greens, the vegetables. Eat your fruits and veggies, but especially green vegetables. Now, a lot of green vegetables are very bitter, and many people don't know this, but the very bitter taste in teas and vegetables like kale, chard, and so on is very good for lowering cholesterol. So if you're eating a green vegetable and it tastes a little bit bitter, you can salt it to take away the bitterness, or even salt and sugar it. Put some sweet sauce with it, something like that. But they're very, very good for the heart. So very good for lowering cholesterol as well. Activities that support the heart: taking a bath, having a good cry. The guy in the shower is having a good cry. Just letting it out. Let it out, man. It's okay to cry. It's okay to cry. It doesn't make you weak. It's healthy. It's a healthy release of emotional buildup inside. And your tears have hormones in them, stress hormones. So as you cry, you release stress hormones that have been created in your body from being under stress. And stress is anything: grief, loss, sadness, all of those kinds of anger, hate, all of those different emotions create hormones that need to be released. Giving yourself flowers or giving somebody else flowers. Giving yourself gifts, being kind to yourself. That is symbolic of just being kind to yourself, nurturing yourself. You know, if somebody you're with doesn't give you a lot of presents, they're just not a giver. That's just the type of personality they are. Then give to yourself. Give yourself the things that you think you need. And if you don't have someone in your life and you're alone, then absolutely, more importantly, give things to yourself. Buy yourself presents. Treat yourself to little nurturing opportunities. And then, of course, hugging or loving someone is very good for the heart chakra. And then girl time or guy time down there. Just getting together, having companionship, being with like-minded people. And, of course, looking at puppies, puppy dogs, or kittens, or little animals of any kind, or babies, or anything that tugs on your heartstrings in a fun, positive way. Not sad things, obviously. You don't look at sad things if you're trying to pick up your mood. So this is what I was talking about before, about you are enough, just the way you are. In fact, you're perfect, just the way you are for the life mission that you have chosen. Just as a bird only needs to be a bird to be lovable, just as a flower only needs to be a flower to be lovable, just as a tree only needs to be a tree to be lovable, so you only have to be you to be lovable. This is a good time to use your logic and just think that through logically. If a tree is worthy and a flower is worthy and a bird is worthy, then you are worthy too, just because you're here. You came with the perfect body, mind, soul to fulfill your life mission and learn your life lessons. So get off your own case and appreciate who you are and appreciate your journey and appreciate how much you're learning and how much your soul is growing. Okay, we'll get into a few auras now. This one on the left, the all green aura, is he is a naturopathic doctor and a homeopath. And you can see that there is this light green and then a kind of a darker green. Now, the darker green can be more of a serious side, and the lighter green is a generous heart, a kind soul, somebody who is full of compassion. And the slightly darker green is he might also be, he was a little bit depressed when I took this, not enough to make his aura flash red, but he had a bit of a heavy heart, and that might explain a bit of the darkness around his heart chakra. But also green has a serious side, they have a disciplined side. So green can sometimes be a little demanding. And this person can be a little bit judgmental as well. And then on the other side, you've got the half green and half blue, and then this splash of turquoise, which is the compassionate high heart. And so this is a very kind-hearted soul. They're having a tiny bit of trouble with their third eye, looks a little bit wobbly, and their crown is a tiny bit overactive. So they're having some worry on their mind. They're feeling a little bit closed down. Their aura might be normally a lot more blue. So it's descended from the blue into the green. The colors, as you spiritually evolve, the colors go up from red, yellow, red, orange, yellow to green, blue, purple. So they're in a very good place. They're a sweet person, but they are just having a little bit of worry on their mind, feeling a little bit shut down. This is a before and after Reiki. So this is the effect of Reiki in the aura. This was a beautiful aura to begin with, green and turquoise, a very kind, compassionate soul with a spiritual twist, a lot of spirituality in that turquoise color. It's a spiritual color. It's the compassionate high heart. So this person is, and their chakras are not too badly out of balance. They look quite good, and they didn't change very much, indicating that that is perfect balance for them after Reiki, but the colors changed. So they went up into the blues and the purples, which are the colors of the throat, the third eye, and the crown. So moving up into a more spiritual energy following Reiki. And as the Reiki wears off, it'll probably go back to the color that they came in with, the greens and the turquoise, and that's probably close to their normal color, I would guess. So your aura is changing all the time. It's not the same color all the time, but it has a kind of primary color that is that you hold until your emotional state changes. So for example, if you're dealing with problems and then you start healing from the problems, the colors are going to change from reds and oranges into more yellows and greens and so on. This person on the left here is spiritually evolving. You can see the light yellow, the kind of green yellow on the that's on the right side. It's on the left side of the picture, but the right side of the person. And then the turquoise green color on the left side, the yin energy. And they're a little bit out of balance. You can see the solar plexus is quite large. And so this is probably explaining the splash of yellow in an otherwise green aura. A little bit of worry, stress, maybe feeling a little bit of coercion or being pushed around a little bit. Somebody wants them to do something, or life circumstances forcing them to do something that they don't want to do. But a lot of new learning there in the light green. They are going through a spiritual growth period because they're moving out of the yellows into the greens, and the combination, the light green is a combination of yellow and green. So they're pushing through. They're starting to push through spiritually into a higher place. And then this is a different person on the other side with the splash of blue in their aura, and you can see the white, very clear white in this. That's spiritual energy. This is a star seed. They always have, the star seeds always have the same kind of pattern, which you will have seen in if you've looked at other of my videos. I've shown other starseed energies with different color auras, but the same template, which is this white streak between the legs and the little white band. Do you see it between the blue and the green there? There's a band of white. And then there is a distinct different color above the head, an energy splash above the head. On that would be their right hand side. With the side with the blue is their right hand side. I really probably should have put that on the slides left and right, but I didn't think of it. And then, of course, they are quite out of balance, which again is very, very common for star seeds. That's because I don't think I've ever seen classic starseed energy with balanced chakras, maybe one or two. I'll try and look for some next time when we do the throat chakra, because that's starting to be very spiritual energy, very high energy, high vibration. Starseeds in particular, with this particular aura template, always seem to be a little out of balance. I think it's because they have trouble with the dense energies of Earth, and we are going through very chaotic times, and starseeds come from a much gentler energy where they've already overcome much of the darkness that we're going through now on Earth, and they're here to help humanity navigate. They are the light workers that are here to help us navigate these difficult times by holding their energy. And so it's fairly common for their chakras to be a little bit unbalanced. That's just my speculation, by the way. I don't know that for certain, but I'm just getting that from my experience of 6 years of taking aura pictures and understanding people and talking with them, getting their feedback.
All right, everyone. I hope you did enjoy that video. If it helped you or encouraged you or inspired you in some way, I hope that you will like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. I will be doing 3 more videos on the throat, the third eye, and the crown. And you can find the videos on the root, the sacral, and the solar already uploaded on the Reiki Mary at the Reiki Place YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching.
So here are the references. I actually didn't use Rosina Sonnenschmidt's book for this one, but it's a very good book. It's a book for homeopaths. It's not a book for everyday reading. And then Liz Simpson, this is a useful book. This particular book is out of print, but I think she has newer editions of it available, so you can look for her name, Liz Simpson. She knows a lot about the chakras. And Bika Wouters, she does the chakras and their archetypes, so she has a very different perspective on the chakras, very useful. And then Valerie Ann Warwood, I used her book for the essential oils, the aromatherapy for the soul. And then this is how you can contact me, Mary at the Reiki Place, or just go to my website, thereikiplace.us, and you can use my contact me form, or just take a look around on my website. I've got lots of material on there.